But the question now comes is who is next? He dropped two names out there. He dropped featherweight champion Ilia Topuria's name, and he dropped lightweight champion Islam Makhachev's name. But I think there's a third name out there that if they were to headline a pay-per-view, it might break records and could possibly be the biggest selling pay-per-view of all time. Man, it's crazy how one fight in one night can completely change everything. There is no doubt Max Holloway was a big star before Saturday night, but now he is an absolute bona fide superstar. Right now, he's probably arguably the biggest superstar in the UFC. On the biggest pay-per-view, with the most eyes watching, all of the casual fan base has their eyes glued to their TVs for this card, and everybody and their mama is talking about Max Holloway and a card that did outstanding and absolutely delivered from bottom all the way to the top. We got knockouts, we got submissions, we got bloody wars, we got back and forth action, we got a little bit of everything. And Max Holloway with that performance is atop it all. Just completely took the spotlight, just stole the show. And what better way to do it than to do it in Max Holloway fashion? That 10-second clapper goes, he points at that ground, and they go at it. Probably one of the greatest knockouts I will ever see in my entire life. And it's right up there with that, upward elbow that Yair Rodriguez hit on the Korean Zombie that knocked him out in the last second also.
Final seconds. Are they going to throw another big shot? Oh, nice body kick. One more flurry. Oh, wow.
Max Holloway's stock was already super high, but with this type of performance, he absolutely blew it through the roof. But the question now comes is who is next? He dropped two names out there. He dropped featherweight champion Ilia Topuria's name, and he dropped lightweight champion Islam Makhachev's name. But I think there's a third name out there that if they were to headline a pay-per-view, it might break records and could possibly be the biggest selling pay-per-view of all time. But before we get into that, let's talk about a possible matchup with Ilia Topuria. Of course, that is a huge fight, a mega fight. I think they should go over to Spain to do that. It would be massive. Two very, very fan-friendly styles, guys that stand up and bang and got crazy knockout power. Who would have thought Max Holloway was coming into this looking like a volume puncher and that, if he were to win by knockout, it would be by TKO. Max Holloway definitely filled in that weight really good, and he is carrying absolute dynamite. But he will have to go back down to 145 to contend for that title against Ilia Topuria, who also is a vicious striker in his own right. Of the three possible matchups I'm about to mention, that one's probably I would put second, and I would put the Islam Makhachev matchup third, just because Islam Makhachev, his style isn't really fan-friendly. Yes, he has a huge fan base, he has a huge following, he has a lot of people who absolutely love him, but let's keep it all 1000. His style isn't all that fan-friendly, and the people that want to see Max Holloway fight, we want to see that type of Justin Gaethje type of fight, the fight he had with Calvin Kattar. We want to see that type of action, and someone like Islam Makhachev, who's just going to be diving like crazy for those legs because he's absolutely not going to want to stand up with Max. It's just, in my opinion, not going to be a fun fight for the fans. But this third option, a lot of things have to happen. It has to be an absolute miracle. The stars have to absolutely align for this to possibly happen. But in my opinion, it would be the craziest and biggest thing that the UFC can do right now. And that is a rematch between Max Holloway and none other than Conor McGregor. Of course, Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are set to take off at UFC 303 on June 29th. If Conor McGregor manages somehow, I don't think he's going to win this fight, but if Conor McGregor manages to surpass Michael Chandler, knock him out, win via decision, whatever, with Conor McGregor's stardom, and now with Max Holloway being probably the biggest star in the UFC right now, and not to mention both of their styles of fighting, that pay-per-view could easily be the biggest selling pay-per-view in UFC history and of all time. I know people are sick of me trying to throw around the Conor McGregor name and stuff like that, but let's be real, Conor is an absolute superstar. He still is, and who wouldn't want to see a fight between him and Max Holloway at this point? The other thing too is that the fight between Conor and Chandler is at 170, and that's definitely because Conor clearly isn't confident in his ability to make 155, so he would probably have to go down and be able to go down to 155 for that. And like I said, also, he would have to beat Chandler, which I guess we'll see how that goes, but most likely what I think is going to happen is I think Holloway's going to go back down to 145, and he's going to fight Ilia Topuria. Nonetheless, that is a very, very fun fight, and I cannot wait to see Max Holloway enter that octagon again. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know who do you think Max Holloway should take on next. Of course, as always, I thank you all so much for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.